Hello, residents of Collinsville. Kevin Wrigley once again, bringing you another quick, short video regarding competitiveness. As I've been out talking to some residents over the weekend, they have had some conversations with some of the pro side, and they are worried about our competitiveness if we were to lose home rule. I can tell you that the non-home rule communities that are surrounding us are doing quite well without home rule. You can look at any empirical data out there, whatever measure you want to look at, they are succeeding, whereas we have definitively lost population. So in our instance, our growth has all been in our local government. So if you look at all the charts that I've shown previously about the size of our local government essentially doubling, well, our population continues to shrink. So let's get into a chart. I pulled all of the 2020 census data numbers and juxtaposed them with the 2010 census data numbers. City of Collinsville has made numerous claims, even in the latest City Scoop, that they disagree with the census findings, even though this has been talked about and projected for about a year and a half prior to the actual census. They were getting warnings that it looked like they were probably going to be short on population. And anecdotally, from some city workers, I have also heard that the city manager was actually trying to push some occupancy permits on different projects to try and buttress those numbers prior to the census. So let's pull up the chart and take a look at some of the surrounding communities. Okay, so as you can see here, these are just communities that actually essentially touch our border. So we have a actual connection with all of these somewhere around the circle of our city. So even if you look at Caseyville to the south, they even had growth in the past decade, 4% growth. Look at O'Fallon. They are obviously the shining star here with the most growth. Glen Carbon, 7%. They're doing very well also. Maryville, also doing very well. And then Troy, also doing very well. Then we have Collinsville. You can see the only negative growth in this chart at negative 5%. So out of this chart, let's see, non-home rule, home rule, but has used it a little bit more responsibly, you could say. Glen Carbon, non-home rule. Maryville, non-home rule. Troy, non-home rule. Okay. And these communities also, lo and behold, have good public safety. We're told that public safety is mutually exclusive with being a home rule community, which we've seen that's just not the case if you look at any actual reality. I believe that this chart demonstrates and is emblematic of what people experience when they try and interact with the administrative state of Collinsville. If you talk to a lot of business owners, unless they are people like Starbucks or Home Depots or major corporations that have actual engineering departments, a common citizen trying to open a business or get something done or make an improvement project will be met with extreme hurdles to jump over relative to other cities. They have made it basically more challenging to conduct business in the town of Collinsville, which is why we've seen a lot of small businesses move out of Collinsville. I've heard that anecdotally from a lot of them as well. We can see this in the way they go over and above what the state regulations are. Again, that's a power of home rule for them to make things more and more and more restrictive. Just recently, about a month and a half ago, the Illinois Department of Transportation was attempting to resurface and reconstruct parts of Highway 159 coming from Beltline Road north all the way to Center Grove Road in Edwardsville. It went through 4 or 5 different municipalities, and they all got on board with it except for Collinsville. City of Collinsville did not approve or like the plans that IDOT submitted. It didn't meet their specifications. They've risen the specifications so high relative to the other towns that we literally lost $3.2 million in road work. I don't know what's going to happen with the other road work that is scheduled that is IDOT related, but we may see the same thing. We recently saw it in a city meeting just last week when they tried to, well, they did make a new ordinance that there are no wooden telephone poles allowed, any new construction or any reconstruction, I believe. I don't remember what the exact ordinance says, but one council member raised concern about that. That is this going to work with Ameren or some of their other partners? Will this cause a delay? Will they basically just tell us to pound sand? What's happening is this administrative state of Collinsville is trying to bulldoze over everybody, just like it tries to bulldoze over the residents. Unfortunately, even though the councilman had those concerns, he did not, make a motion to table this for further discussion, did not vote against it. He just said, I have some concerns concerns with this and then proceeded to give his approval to it. Anyway, please think critically about what you're being told. As you can see, there is a lot of misinformation out there, and take a look at those population charts. Does it really look like we are more competitive because of being home rule? Thank you.